not like where this is going. And I mean that more in a way that the huge amount of despair in this chapter is hinting towards something that fairy tale is very, what is that word? N- Not usually do. No, that's not the right word, but that what I mean to say is they're doing something they're not usually known for. But then again, it's too early to tell. After all, if this really is fairy tale, then then I know very well he will resolve this quickly. He better resolve this quickly because there was some secret emotion into this chapter that is hinting towards a very deep despair. Hi, for those who are watching, it's me, the Angry Anime Fan, the Despair Reviewer, to bring you the chapter of Fairy Tale 503. And first we see a cover of, well, Wendy wanting to be sexy, I guess. But it's pretty cool to see uh, Charlie drinking some coffee. Well, not, or tea or whatever. But, well, most of this chapter is all about fan service as Lucy now wakes up sealed with magic stone that is apparently not known towards in the Alvarez because the way Dimara says it's useful things. And then she begins to, say, taunt Lucy. But Lucy just makes the point, of course, it was you who did that to Brandish. As she continues to using her time magic, she begins to once again do the perverted stripping shameful sight. You know, when she always used to cut off the clothes of the girls, well, now she has taken Lucy's uh, sea bra. Of course, we don't see her breasts. We see them in a bit of a Barbie doll animated, but they're there. And then later on, she teleports where she's sitting, well, standing very close near Lucy's face, mentioning that the eyes of Ishgal's inhabitants are big. That is actually a very good line because it means that their eyes are filled with determination, and so Dimara puts forward a sword. We see a nice ass view, but that's not really the real strong points of this one. It's the fact that despite being chained and having a sword near her eyes, Lucy does not waver, and she just says, "Even blind, I can remember all their faces. The guild landscape, the Magnolia Street as well. I can remember where the dust of the books I read is. If you're gonna do it, go ahead. I'm not afraid of you." Which is very something very strong to say, and I like that. Do not give in. But as soon as Dimara is doing that, something very weird happens. Lucy, well, seems to get knocked out and has blood from her eyes, but she's not blind. She somehow Dimara did not have the time enough to pierce through her eyes. And when Lucy looks around, she sees Dimara totally burned, well, not totally burned, but a bit of burned, bloodied, and in a state of shock. And now she is the one who's trembling, mentioning a monster. And someone, because apparently Natsu's power was strong enough for him to move even in time, were stopped and even surpassed the gods. And here's something that is very strange, but I think it's because of the translation of this chapter. Lucy seems shocked that Natsu escaped, but when she looked like that, I almost interpreted like, did Lucy figure out what happened to Natsu? And Dimara also mentioned something about that is not on the end. Again, the translation of this chapter gives me a little bit confusing. But then Happy arrives. He's finally okay, along with Porcelain and Brandish. And Dimara still having been knocked out. So they decides to chain her with some lock magic and get going. But before they go, Porcula poorly mentions that the tumor as she said in the last chapter, it was not an anti-eternal tumor because he used too much magic. It was something completely unknown to her, something that and when something that increased as soon as Brandish enlarged it again. A mysterious power similar to a demon, confirming that yes, that tumor or whatever it was indeed E.N.D. And that's how Natsu managed to break free of the magic cuffs. He didn't use magic, he used curse. And his curse and magic fused together was so strong that not even time could stop him. Not even a god. That is also hinting towards something. That is hinting that maybe, just maybe, Natsu can have the power to kill Akaseram. But I don't think that god is ever going to be in this story. After all, this is way too early to tell, because despair is only increasing. Happy can of course figure out what it is. But before they all go, Brandish and Ever, yes, says that, what about those clothes? Seems like Lucy forgot she was topless for a moment there. But yeah, E.N.D has indeed revived, and he is creating havocs where he's burning people all over the place. We see a picture of him, and it seems like, according to Silver, somehow he figured out that E.N.D was a flame demon. And E.N.D, this version of Natsu, this E.N.D, is indeed flames. He seems to be covered in flames, and his hands are changing into demon one, and the flames from his hair is almost looking like horns. And the fact that he's saying Seraph, where is Seraph over there? Or we tell at the beginning it almost looked like Natsu had dropped his personality, but the final line from this chapter is hinted that he has not lost his memory. He has just gone insane. And what is that? Well, Gray appears before Natsu, the Natsu that is covered in black like flames and has half his face high hidden. And Natsu saying also Gray's name as Gray is saying Natsu's. The two rivals are now facing each other as enemies. Ugh. You can deny it all you want. That was extremely heartbreaking, he's saying. It would have been good enough if Natsu had saying, "Who are you?" But no, Natsu recognizes who Gray is, and yet the flames around him is swirling around him all the more and more. The destiny Sereth has indeed created a situation. It may have been Invel that have created this problem, but as the title says, the two destinies that Seraph played with now blend with rage and sadness, include Gray feeling with sadness and Natsu feeling with rage, or is it the other way around? E.N.D has awakened. Happy knows that E.N.D has awakened. He needs to tell the other gang what is going on. They must save Natsu! This is not allowed to happen! It's not allowed for Natsu to be drowned into the E.N.D yet. And please, Hiromashima-san, do not do a Sasuke. Do not make sure that if you're gonna make Gray and Natsu fight each other, at least make it so that Gray cannot kill Natsu. And I do not mean that he doesn't have the power to, more like he cannot do it because no matter what, E.N.D was still Natsu, the guy he grew up with, a friend. He better not have forgotten that. But I think he has. So yeah, I'm very, very worried. But there is also somewhere hints, as I said at the beginning of this chapter. Hiromashima's always introduced big things, and then he solves them in the next chapter. So he better solve this in the next. If not the next, at least in a while. If you think about it, the Springem have not even been defeated yet. It is too early for the E.N.D to appear. But if the E.N.D is appearing now, that can still mean that they can deal with this problem. But the real question you should ask yourself is Gray never gonna be Natsu's friend again? Or is he gonna do something else? Well, who knows? But there was a very strong symbolism here of love and human relationship, so I like that one. Moreover, the question is though, how did E.N.D power awaken into Natsu? There is different theories. Was it that Natsu used his Flame Dragon King mode too much and it overexhausted his magic and allowed the curse part to awaken? Or could it be that when Seraph heard the book of E.N.D, a part of Natsu that is E.N.D, I mean E.N.D in Natsu awoke? Who knows? All I know is that the next chapter is called Crack. What is that meaning? Is that the crack for the friendship that Gray and Natsu have, or is it cracking the code in hoping to solve this despair? Who knows, but I hope they do solve it. But I have a feeling it's not going to be that easy. All in all, give me your thoughts if you have any.